Hello there! Now we're going to show you 4 examples of derivatives using the product rule. First example.
So our first example is the derivative with respect to x of 27 x to the 99 times e to the x. We're going to use the product rule here. And to use the product rule, we take the derivative of this factor first. And so we're going to write that this is equal to 27 times 99 times x to the 98 times, now we just multiply by this factor, times e to the x plus, and now we keep this factor the same, 27 x to the 99 times, well, what's the derivative of e to the x? It's e to the x. So there, e to the x. Not too bad. Now let's see the second example. So now I want to take the derivative of x cubed plus 2x all times the square root of x minus 9x squared. I'm going to use the product rule. I could expand this all out and differentiate term by term, but instead I'll use the product rule and I'll take the derivative of this factor first. So I'll have 3x squared plus 2 all times, this one stays the same, square root of x minus 9x squared. And because I'm going to run out of room, I'll put a new line here, plus, now I take the derivative of this term, and since I've done the power rule a lot, I know this is equal to 1 over 2x to the 1/2, and this will be then minus 18x all times this factor, which is going to be x cubed plus 2x. And this is my answer from the product rule.
Time for the third example.
So now I want to take the derivative with respect to x of 3 e to the x all over x to the 16th. This might not look like a product, but it really is. This is equal to the derivative with respect to x of 3 e to the x times x to the minus 16th power. Okay, so now I can use the product rule. I'll take the derivative of this factor first, and it's really just 3 e to the x times, this one doesn't change, x to the minus 16th plus, now this one doesn't change, so it's 3 e to the x again, times minus 16 x to the minus 17th. And there we go, we've used the product rule.
And now our final example.
Now we want to take the derivative of e to the 3x with respect to x. Now, you might not see a product here, but I tell you it's there. We write d over dx of e to the x times e to the x times e to the x. And now we have 3 functions, but when you use the product rule of 3 functions, you just take the derivative of the first. What's the derivative of e to the x? It's e to the x, and then you multiply it by the rest, times e to the x times e to the x. And now you take the derivative of the middle factor. The derivative of the middle factor is e to the x, and you multiply it by these two. Well, that's just e to the x again. Wow. And now we take the derivative of the final factor. That's again the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, and so we get e to the x times the remaining 2. E to the x times e to the x. Oh my goodness, this whole thing's equal to 3e to the 3x.
So we have seen 4 examples of the product rule. You can do a lot with this rule. It's pretty cool. Let's do some more math.